Let's bring in now senior contributor Michael D'Antonio. He's the author of The Truth About Trump. Michael, thank you very much for coming in. First off, what's your reaction to the president saying he would run in without a weapon if he was there?
Oh, I'm sure he would. What would he get, 10 feet before he had to stop and catch his breath? This is a 71-year-old man who had 4 deferments when he could have served in the Vietnam War with a gun in his hand, but instead he chose not to. So this idea that this is a physically courageous man who would be committed to risking life and limb, I think is laughable. But yet he'll stand up and do this and assume that his base is going to applaud him. And it's no different than the guy at the end of the bar saying this kind of thing.
So if past actions may be some indication of how one would react in certain circumstances or similar circumstances. So I want to play this now. This is Donald Trump on the Howard Stern show in 2008, about the time an elderly man fell off the stage in front of him at a charity event at Mar-a-Lago.
So you have all these really rich people, and a man, about 80 years old, very wealthy man, a lot of people didn't like him, he fell off the stage. So what happens is this guy falls off right on his face, hits his head, and I thought he died. And you know what I did? I said, oh, my God, that's disgusting, and I turned away. I couldn't, he was right in front of me. I turned away. I didn't want to touch him. No, the Marines, he's bleeding all over the place. I felt terribly. Beautiful marble floor, didn't look so good. It changed color. It became very red. And you have this poor guy, 80 years old, laying on the floor, unconscious. And all of the rich people are turning away. Oh, my God, this is terrible. This is disgusting. And, they're turning away. Nobody wants to help the guy. His wife is screaming. She's sitting right next to him. She's screaming. What happens is these 10 Marines from the back of the room, they were so far back, it's a huge ballroom. They come running forward. They grab them. They put the blood all over the place. It's all over their uniforms. They're taking it. They swipe. They ran them out. They created a stretcher. They call it a human stretcher. Where they put their arms out. Yes. Like 5 guys at each side. They ran him out. I never saw it. They ran like...
You would never do that.
I was saying, get that blood cleaned up. It's disgusting. I forgot to call the next half. I forgot to call to say, is he okay? He was okay. Yeah. It's just not my thing.
I'm not saying it's a disaster, but I mean, if you can, an elderly person, most people would probably run in to help an elderly person. It doesn't say you have to touch the blood or just say, are you okay? Can we get someone to help him? They wouldn't turn away and go, oh my God, it's disgusting, beautiful marble floors.
Oh, and he forgot to call the next day. Picking up the phone was too much for him, but he's going to run into a building where there's an active shooter.
Sense?
Absolutely makes no sense at all, but this is a president who loves to tell stories. He's not a man of action, he's a man of words. And so he weaves these tales to embroider his image. He's the hero of every story he tells, and as he told me, he's the star of his own comic book, and he writes it every day.
Well, later in that interview, Trump tells Howard Stern, I'm not good with medical. In other words, if you cut your finger and there's blood pouring out, I'm gone. It's not the first time that he's puffed himself up, with that sort of image. But CNN Chris Cillizza calls him the Walter Mitty complex. Well,
the question is now, which one will be the joke? Because when he gets caught in something, he'll say, oh, it was a joke. The person who insults you, who insults, in this case, law enforcement officers who are brave, who do run into dangerous situations. Now he's going to say, well, which one's the joke? Is it the joke about Parkland, or is it the joke about the person who fell down in front of him and he did nothing? I wonder which one.